While he's up next, he says, hey guys, thanks for sharing the knowledge with us. I just started a project for a car rental company and I was wondering if I should put the location pages on the subdomain. I like putting neighborhood pages on a subdomain, but I like the primary location pages, like the main city pages that I'm trying to rank, the ones that have search volume. I like to put those on the root domain personally. That's my preferred method right now. And in the geo pages that you create that have no search volume, those work really well as supporting pages on a subdomain. And the reason why is because you can do a lot of aggressive link building and stuff to those that you wouldn't want to do to your money site. And it kind of builds location or geographic relevance up to the pages that they're linking to. There's a lot of things you can do with them. So my preferred method is to put subdomain neighborhood pages or the kind of smaller areas that don't really have any search volume. And that's just a way to gauge it. It doesn't have to be based on search volume, but that's just a way to gauge it. Talked about this in the mastermind last week. There's kind of a quick hack. It's not quick, but it's a way to really identify within a market queries that you should be putting time into. So go grab a domain, right? It can be any kind of domain. It doesn't really matter. Brand new, whatever. Put WordPress on it. Put, the keyword of the primary. In my case, I just say tree service, right? Tree service, tree services, something like that. Tree removal service or something like that on the title as the H1, the SEO title, and just one page WordPress site. Put a few paragraphs of relevant content. It doesn't have to be super optimized or anything else. It's not about it. All I'm saying is buy a domain, install WordPress, put in the SEO title, the primary keyword that your product or service that you're promoting is, and then a few paragraphs and a couple of images or a YouTube video. Again, doesn't even have to be your own YouTube video, just something that's relevant onto a page, a single page WordPress installation, and then submit it to Search Console and see what kind of, impressions come back, right? You can start to look at the search query data in Search Console. So you can just slap up a site with a couple of, just random pages on there and put it into Search Console on a particular geographic area and just let it sit for a few weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And just in Search Console, and you allow it to start accruing some data. And then you can actually extract the data from there. And now you've got real Search Console data, like real search data that you can use to determine what pages that you want to put time into, if that makes sense. There's a little bit more to it than that. I covered that in the mastermind, but it's a great strategy because Search Console data is real Google user data, if that makes sense. It's way better than just basing on search volume, in my opinion. Search volume is a good starting point, but what I'm saying is if using Search Console data is always, in my opinion, the best way for this. It does require some patience because you got to set something up and then just let it sit and let it marinate or season for a while, right? And let it gain some traction by Google, and that's it. But then from there, you can go in and start to identify, what people are actually searching for in that area. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not about ranking that site, guys. It doesn't matter if it's in position 200. It'll show impression data and the search queries that produced the impression. Right. So that's all that matters. It doesn't matter about ranking the page or the site at all. It's not about that. It's about using a domain in Search Console for discovery. You understand? Anyway, also, am I doing a blogs and I start rank for the first and second pages for some keywords? Now the question is, do I point all the long tail keyword content to the pillar page so I can rank for it? For that hard keyword, but I am still on the third page. What I should do more to push that pillar page to the first, maybe create some Web 2.0 blogs and point it to, and what anchors should I use? Okay. Yeah. I mean, all that, remember guys, strengthen the entity. So branded Web 2.0 assets, interlinked, and name, address, phone number included, all of that, guys, is about expanding the entity footprint, right? Adding nodes to the knowledge graph for the local entity. We talk about semantic mastery. We've been talking about that for years. You understand? So Web 2.0 asset, branded Web 2's asset, and interlinked, name, address, phone number, all of that, that will help. What kind of anchor text to use? Go with brand anchors. almost exclusively. I'm telling you guys, that is hands down the best type of anchors to use. You can do keyword stuff at tier 2. So you can push keyword relevance through branded anchors at tier 1 branded anchors. Does that make sense? So now that doesn't mean you can't use the occasional keyword anchor at tier 1. You certainly can, but start to pillow. That's an old Alex Becker term, but you pillow the site with, he used to use a lot of generic anchor text or miscellaneous anchor text. But I would always recommend pillowing your site with branded anchors now. I don't build generic anchors at all, period, or miscellaneous anchors, period. I think it's dumb, because anchor text should be descriptive of what it is linking to. Full stop. And so I don't, and by the way, naturally you're going to accrue miscellaneous anchors. So click here, learn more, this site, citations and things like that. Oftentimes they'll say website, that's the anchor text. So you're going to naturally accrue, excuse me, generic or miscellaneous anchor text anyway. So when it comes to what kind of anchors to build directly to your money site, go with brand mainly, and you can sprinkle the occasional keyword anchor in there. Okay, but I would keep it mainly brand anchors. And then then you can do more kind of aggressive link building out at tier 2 to the branded tier 1 assets if you want, where you can start to push some keyword relevance in that way as well. Okay. Also, the last thing that I would recommend is remember CTR engagement or manipulation. You can kind of manipulate doing some CTR stuff. It doesn't have to be apps. You can buy Google Ads traffic, right? Use the Google Display Network. Set your audience segment, your targeting to where you're targeting an audience that is likely interested in the topic that you're promoting. And then if it's for local, you can also set geographic targeting. So now the only people that are going to click on the ad or even going to see the ad, the only people that are going to see the ad are people that Google has identified are likely interested in the product or service, the topic that you're promoting, and are within a specific geographic area. So if you're trying to rank something locally, think about that. You're buying real Google user clicks within a targeted audience, within a targeted geographic area. So doing that engagement, I mean, you can use CTR apps, that's fine. I'm just saying a heavier weighted click is a click from a real Google user that is in a known audience, a known segment, right? And you can create your own segments. They're called custom segments. So if Google doesn't already have a predefined audience that you can use, or predefined segment, that you can define your own. Does that make sense? So anyway,